my loves and welcome to Love What Luck. I've had a phenomenal morning. I've had the best solo date. I actually went on a solo date to a restaurant for the first time. So you know that when I was single, it took me a while to get into doing things by myself. I've been doing these little solo dates, but admittedly, I have been doing quite easy ones. I've been doing the cinema, very easy. Going for matches, going for walks, you get the gist. Today I went to a restaurant by myself where I literally had my Carrie Sex and City moment. I was in the queue and she was like, how many of you is there? I was like, just one today, just me. I'm feeling really proud of myself for doing it. I sat down in a busy restaurant. I was on my phone a little bit, like, let's not be unrealistic. I was on WhatsApp a bit, but I sat there and I enjoyed my company and I had a delightful banquet for breakfast. Guys, I had cookie butter French toast. And I'm going to be so real now. Over the years, I have had issues with eating. Probably like most women, to be fair, but especially when I was modelling. I mean, I only did commercial modelling, so it wasn't like I had anybody in my ear telling me to lose weight or anything. But obviously, when you're assigned to somebody, everybody's, similar sizes, you kind of just know without even being told, like, what, you need to maintain a certain weight. And some castings you go on, especially if they just fit in castings, they literally just measuring you. Like, you're walking around going by measurement. So I feel like you're tiniest when you get signed because you're so motivated. Then every day you're like, oh my God, I cannot deviate from those measurements. So over the years, I've definitely, to be fair, even before modelling, I just think, like, if you are in your 30s, we grew up, unfortunately, where around that time, which I fear is coming back a little bit, but like around that time where being super thin was in. So I've definitely had like unhealthy moments of food. Like, I remember the first time I went to New York, it was right before I was trying to get signed, and I remember, it's mad because I forget so many things in my life, but I remember specifically having this big bagel with cream cheese and like absolutely loving it because obviously I still ate in New York. I remember having this big fat bagel and then I had like a Snicker like cheesecake or brownie or something after it. And I remember eating it and loving it. And then afterwards, I felt so guilty. Like, just this guilt for eating something. And, like, even if I go back to those pictures of me literally in the bathroom, in the hotel mirror bathroom, like, with my top up. And I'm so thin. And I'm, like, taking pictures, like, checking my abs are still there and stuff. And, like, don't get me wrong, it didn't take over my life and I never had an eating disorder or anything like that, and I'm sorry if this is triggering for some people, but today, obviously, when you're sat in a restaurant alone and you're just reflecting, I was like, do you know what, how amazing is it that I can polish off this delightful greasy piece of French toast with chocolate cream, knowing that I've put weight on at the minute and not feeling any guilt. I think that's one of the good things about kind of getting out of your 20s, at least for me. Obviously, I know people go through issues with food and stuff, but just get more confident and more sure about yourself and more, you just like can't be arsed to deal with certain things or put yourself through certain things. And another thing I will say is nobody actually gives a shit. People are in their own world. Nobody's noticing if you are somewhere by yourself. Nobody cares. I think that's the point. Like, nobody cares. So definitely it's kind of like exposure therapy, when you do something for the first time that is normally a little bit like, ooh, what am I doing? You do it once and I'm like, oh, the world's my oyster now. I will say it wasn't as enjoyable as going with a friend where I can gossip excessively and inappropriately. Of course not. But it's nice to do them once in a while. Anyway, okay, let's go into this week's story. She said, I fell in love with my best friend, but I never told him. I helped him get the girl he liked, and we drifted apart naturally over the years. I had other relationships, but never felt the same for any of them. Years later, I bumped into his ex-girlfriend, and she tells me that she always thought we'd end up together because he obviously loved me with the way he used to talk about me. We haven't spoken in over 10 years now, and he seems really happy with his new partner, and I'd never ruin that. But after his ex told me that, I went home and cried for hours. I'm sad at the what ifs. This breaks my heart. This is Love, Rosie, the film, which I've definitely mentioned before. That film really, really gets me, and weirdly, I was on a journey the other day. I was actually going to do a podcast episode about it, and I was looking into it, and then I was like, actually, this is so depressing. Like, let's just keep it a bit more light-hearted at the minute. But I was Googling the things people regret most before they die in. Tell me why. Anyway, the biggest things, obviously, a surprise to nobody, I'm sure, was just the things that you didn't do, like the chances that you didn't take. And it just kills me that you could potentially have a completely different life if you were less afraid of just taking the risk. And you can apply that to anything, whether it's a job, whether it's just going for something, telling somebody how you feel. I put on Instagram, the question of the week this last week was, what do you regret lately? And somebody wrote in saying they regret thinking about their ex. This may be controversial, but I honestly think if you're thinking about your ex that much, just give them a message. People always say, don't get back with an ex. Oh, they're an ex for a reason. I don't believe that. I'm back with my ex. It's the right decision for us, at least for now. You know, hopefully it lasts forever, but you never know. But just take the chance. Life is so short. If you can't stop thinking about your ex, or even like a friend, you know, if you've had a friend that you've drifted apart from and you're thinking, you know what, I really feel bad for what I said, just let them know. You've already lost them. You're already not with them. If they say, look, I'm really not interested, even if they laugh in your face, you're literally no worse off. Your ego's a little bit more hurt, but your situation in your life is no worse off. I just think having that clarity of, okay, that's the situation, and then being able to move on is worth it. It's so much better than living all the time thinking about things and wishing you could say something to somebody. And also, think best case scenario. I think we're wired to think of worst case scenario literally all the time. And sometimes me and Renee catch ourselves and we're just like, we're on a floating rock. I find that almost so comforting because I'm just like, nothing matters. So if you're thinking about messaging your ex or sending a risky text, just do it. I have no idea why, but the story came into my head this week when I was out. I was actually telling this story to somebody in a public space, but when I was younger, I was going out with this guy and we were in his bedroom. Don't know why it's making me laugh. And he turns his TV on and there's a DVD player and a rude, naughty film starts. Yeah. And he says, oh my God, my brother's been in here again. And he's using my DVD player. Oh, and he was like filming at him. And I'm like, oh my God, that boy. What is that boy like? You a brother? What is he like? And genuinely fully believed him. Of course, fully believed him. I was like, yeah, your brother has, for some reason, decided to come into your bedroom when you're not here, even though you don't work because we're too young. So you're literally just in school and at home. But your older brother, can I just say, not a young one, your older brother has come into your room and he's decided to watch this film in your bedroom. I look back at that girl and I miss her. I just think how nice to be that naive and to just see the best in people and in men and to not instantly think, oh my God, you're obviously lying. And I mean, firstly, would not have had an issue with it, by the way. But obviously, you know, he assumes that I would have an issue with it, so he just hasn't told me about it. Classic male. They don't see her as lying. They're just like, oh well, I didn't think you wanted to talk about it. I didn't think you'd like that, so I didn't mention it. Eye roll. But I just look back and I just think, wow, you were just so naive and bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, out in the world with truly not a clue. And I really miss that because I really think it's so hard to give men the benefit of the doubt now. We hear too much and we see too much that unfortunately everything they do, I even read notes here, like on the podcast, the evolution of this podcast from when I've started being like, I want to say a love story a day, which I still do. Like, I love a love story. Let's not get that twisted. I love a love story. I will always believe in love, and of course. But over the years, the stuff we hear, the stuff we see, is just harder to give them the benefit of the doubt. And I saw this amazing analogy that I've got to share. It says, no, not all men, but if I gave you a box of Maltesers and told you that 1 in 10 of them was actually a nugget of shit rolled into a bowl and dipped in milk chocolate, you'd be wary of all of them, would you not? And I just thought, could not have explained or written that better. That's exactly it. Like, unfortunately, we see so much bad stuff that now we're wary of all of them. And I just think, wow, to go back to my 16-year-old self and truly believe, one, everything he told me, and two, to believe just the most obscure story. And I'm not lying, only very recently, for some reason, that story's come back into my head, and I've been like, oh my God, he was obviously lying. Almost 20 years later, I'm like, remember my ex-boyfriend lied to me? I had no idea. Oh, you sweet, sweet, naive girl. Actually, my boyfriend pissed me off today because I sent him a video of the food and I started on randomly because I'm very particular with food, where mostly for breakfast I want something sweet, but then usually as the time goes on I get a little bit hungry and then the need for savoury creeps in, just to arouse the taste buds a little bit, give them what they need. So I ordered a bowl of potatoes. Random. So I started the video on the potatoes and then I panned over to the chocolate thing. He said, oh my God, yeah, they do look lush, to be fair. Didn't mention anything about the chocolate thing. I thought to myself, strange you haven't mentioned it. You didn't watch all of the video. You saw the start of the video as I'm turning the potatoes and you've clicked off it before I've panned over. And now, unfortunately, I'm annoyed. It's a classic, man, where they don't read or they don't respond to all of your messages. You can send a man 5 messages, you're only getting a response to the last one. I don't know what it is. It's like I don't know if they see it. I don't know if they see it, they choose to ignore it. If they see it, they think I can't be asked. Do they take any of it in? Couldn't tell you. If you need an answer to a question, don't you dare send a man the question, what time is dinner, followed by something else. That question's never going to get answered. To be fair, I'm slagging men off. To be fair, sometimes, even if he doesn't, sometimes he won't respond to an above message, and then like 15 minutes will pass, and then he'll respond to that, and I'm like, oh, he's responding now because he didn't have time before, and he's looking at the whole message and he's picking up the important ones, and I really appreciate that. So again, not all men. Hashtag not all men. Okay, I've got a DM that I got from one of you guys this week, and she says, I have to tell you this story. My friend has been seeing this guy for a few weeks, super normal, good job, polite, like aggressively average in the most reassuring way. She's at his for the night, he's making dinner, and his phone keeps buzzing on the table. She glances over, and it's a group chat. She can see the name is family, with a little love heart, so she thinks it's cute and wholesome. But no, tell me why this man is in a full group chat with his ex. Her parents, siblings, cousins, everyone. He said that they just get on well and keep in touch and there's nothing in it. So now she's sitting there trying to process, like, is this healthy? Is this emotional maturity? Or is this extremely unresolved? I'm gonna say, don't even waste your time thinking about that. I can be understanding for lots of things, but I can't deal with somebody I see him being in a group chat with the ex and the family. There's no need for it. There's absolutely no need for it, especially maybe like when they've just broken up, you know, when you kind of like, if it's very amicable, you're kind of like weaning yourself away from everything. Like, I've had that before. I've broken up with partners and like my brother-in-law's like not kept in touch, but, you know, sent a couple of messages, like one relationship that I had, like, because they got on and just, you know, kept in touch a bit, but it wouldn't be in a group chat, do you know what I mean? It gotta come to an end at some point, and I don't know if it's toxic or not, but I can't handle being with somebody if they are still friends with their ex. For me, it's just not worth the turmoil that I put myself through. That's like how I gotta look at these things. It's like, if you feel like you are seeing somebody and they do something that you're not okay with, and it doesn't matter how many times they tell you, they try and reassure you, if you can't get over it in your head, it's just not worth being in the relationship. For you, even if what they're doing, there isn't anything wrong with it. But say like you hate your partner taking drugs, right? And he doesn't do anything wrong when he does it. I don't know, say he's just smoking weed even. If it is putting a stress on you over time, it's just not going to be worth it. And that's what I think with that type of stuff. It's like, I'm not going to be okay with you being friends with your ex. It's not worth it for me to put myself through that. Just think about what you want for yourself. And it's not even about them. Just think about you. Do I want to wake up every day and have this, I don't know, distrust or this lack of respect for something that my partner's doing? Or, you know, it goes back to like what we were saying before about your partner should have the same type of values and morals as you. And obviously people people are not always morally correct, myself included. Like, everyone has a little, bend and snap sometimes. We're not all good people making the best decisions every time. But if you can be, I think to have a relationship with anybody, friend, family, partner, you kind of need to be, 90%, like 90% good. So that you can have, like I say, you can have a little bit like, wow, okay, that was a bad decision. You shouldn't have done that. But not all the time. It's just not worth it, in my opinion. Guys, I saw this girl online. Her ex-boyfriend had a baby with somebody else and named the baby's first and second names the names of her 2 only siblings. That can't be a coincidence, surely. It's like, oh my God, do you remember Adam Levine? Adam Levine, with that woman that he was talking to, and he said he wanted to name his unborn baby after her. Oh, no. Because if you were the woman there and you were blissfully unaware, and he's like imagine my ex saying to his new partner after they've had a baby girl, oh yeah, I really want to call her Sadie, and she's got no idea. That's worse. That's so much worse. And the thing is, I could not bring myself to tell him, like, if your ex had a baby with someone else and called it after your name, you couldn't say anything because it's about a baby then. They can't change the baby's name. I suppose they could, but why would they do that? I see stories like that all the time as well, where it's like he got married on my birthday, or, oh my God, I've started watching The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which, by the way, I remember in an episode months and months ago, I said that my friend advised me to watch it to make you feel better about your life and timelines and stuff, because they're older women and they haven't all got their shit together and they're still going through drama and whatever. Selfishly, she was like, you should watch this and understand that you don't like reach an age and then everything stops. Like, things just keep evolving. Anyway, I'm taking my friend's advice from months ago, and I've started watching it now, mostly as well because I loved clips of Lisa Rinna on TikTok. I listened to her audiobook and I loved it. Anyway, I'm watching the first series of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and Camille is in there. She's married to Kelsey Grammer. So naturally, I pull up my phone and I'm like, I know they're getting divorced because it literally says in one of the episodes, like, coming up on this season. So I go on and I'm like, is Kelsey Grammer married now? Why I care about Kelsey Grammer's love life, I have no idea. I never even used to watch Fraser. But Kelsey Grammer got married 2 months after his divorce was finalised. He met the new wife. I'm hoping it comes out on the show. He met the new wife when he was with his current one, Camille. And he married her, because obviously when it comes up like married, spouse, wherever, the same year, 2 months later. I just think that new partner, she's on another level of confidence and stuff, because I just can't imagine meeting somebody and knowing they're with somebody else and then them getting married to me 2 months after they've divorced somebody else. Like, I just be like, you're obviously, well, they're still together, so maybe I'm the one with the issues. But like, I couldn't even handle getting with somebody if I'd known they had long broken up with somebody else, because it's just like, you need to make sure that they're okay, that you're not a rebound, that everything is done, that you're not going to be like dealing with the issues that come from a breakup. And I know it can't always be helped, and some love stories have a very happy ending. Like, I've actually been sent some where the girlies have met somebody 2 months after a breakup and, now they're married. So obviously it works sometimes. We're just thinking, like, from my point of view, again, it's not worth it. It's not worth it for me to be engaged to somebody whilst they legally married somebody else. It's a little bit too messy for me. I was actually speaking to my mother on the weekend and she was watching First Dates, and she said, oh, back in my day, you only had A and B with dating. You either went for it or you didn't. There was none of this drama in between. I just thought, it must have been so much simpler back then, because the shit that you have to deal with when you are modern dating, like, it must have been so much easier to date for social media, because you never had to put up with the shit that you do now. You never had to deal with dating somebody and then seeing who they follow, seeing that they've liked somebody's photo, having to go on a deep dive. You wouldn't have to deal with knowing what their ex looked like and everything they did together. You wouldn't have to deal with messaging somebody, them not responding, but you seeing that they were online 10 minutes ago. and you're still waiting for a response, and you know that they've been on their phone, but they're choosing to flat out ignore you. Or even worse, like the blue ticks. You can see that they've read your message. Are they going to ghost me? Like, there's so much stuff that we have to deal with. Whereas back in the day, you literally just, you met somebody, you liked them. Do you want to go out with me? Yeah? Meet me here at 12. Couldn't cancel, couldn't keep in touch before. You just met up. You went on a date, and if you liked each other, you pursued it. There was no, I mean, obviously there was still a phase back in the day, but there's so many different levels of disrespect now in a relationship, and also just like options, and yeah, just absolutely crazy. I just think, wow, what a simpler time. What a simpler time. Okay guys, so I think I'll wrap it up there. As always, let me know your thoughts. Come and chat to me. Let me know what you've been up to. I'm Sadie at lovewhatluck.com, or send me a DM at Sadie Maltby. I'm undecided at the minute with the podcast Instagram, so I'm finding it hard to keep on top of everything. And I don't want to just have a page that is dying. So send me a DM at Sadie Maltby, because I'll definitely see that one. And yeah, come and let me know your feedback. As always, I always appreciate your thoughts. Please make sure you are followed, subscribed, leave me a review, all the rest of it. And thank you so much. I really appreciate your support, and I'll speak to you next week.